Hey everybody, it's Maggie. I am here with Kayla Martell, the 2010 Miss Delaware and a finalist in the 2011 Miss America pageant. And isn't she like totally amazing? I was just saying, if you were a model coming in for one of my castings, I would totally book you because you're so pretty without the the over-the-topness of most beauty pageant girls, which, you're pretty amazing. So we are here at the OnRite conference in Fort Lauderdale, the 2014 OnRite conference, and you are the spokesperson for Gemtress, correct?
Yes, I am. Yes, I've been working with Gemtress for a few years now, so I'm excited every single year to come down to the conference, meet all of the men and women who are working with Gemtress throughout the country and throughout the world, and seeing all the amazing work that they're doing in their own salons.
And the reason she is the Gemtress spokesperson, not just because they have fabulous wigs and she likes to change it up, there is a specific reason why you wear wigs. Do you want to fill us in?
Sure. I was diagnosed with alopecia areata at the age of 11. My hair started falling out in clumps, and basically I was in junior high seeing hair come out in my brush abnormally in large amounts, and I tried to hide it. I tried to figure out what could possibly be going on at 11 to be losing my hair. The only person I knew who was losing their hair was my father, and I knew it wasn't exactly the same thing that I was going through, so I really didn't know who to turn to, who to talk to, because even though my mother wanted to be a part of it, I just felt very alone in the process because I knew that no one else could really relate to what I was going through.
And then all of a sudden you say, well, I want to go into pageants and into beauty queen. I mean, did you think, no, that's just not going to happen?
I personally did not. For some reason, I had my focus set, and when I was younger, I knew I wanted to be Miss Delaware. I knew I wanted to make it to the Miss America pageant, so for some reason, for whatever, if it was ignorance is bliss or whatever, I'm not sure, but I had my mindset on the Miss America pageant. It was a dream of mine, but my mother and my father, really my whole family, was so worried they thought I'd be eaten alive because I eventually went completely bald. At the age of maybe 13, my hair completely fell out, and so for my parents to see their bald daughter wanting to compete in a pageant, I think they thought that I would come home in tears, just beaten up and eaten alive, basically, because you never see a pageant contestant with less than perfect hair.
And so, were you beaten up? I mean, what ultimately happened?
I competed in the Miss Delaware pageant 3 times without a wig, so I went just as I was, completely natural, and I placed well, so I fared well. I made it in the top 5 and the top 10 each year, and so I still had good success, but I wasn't winning, and a judge in my 3rd year of the pageant came up to me and said, "Do you want to be Miss Delaware?" And I looked at him. It happened to be a man, and I looked at him and said, "Yeah, I do." And he said, "Well, then you're going to need to wear a wig." And at that point, the only wigs that I had experiences were wigs that my mom had bought at a corner shop in our hometown that she picked up on her way home from work, and something that came out of a box and I was supposed to plop on my head as if it was a new pair of shoes or something. And they were all so uncomfortable and felt itchy and heavy, and the hair was just a poor quality, and I couldn't make them look like me. I would look in the mirror and not even recognize that person that I saw, and so I never had wanted to wear a wig, and at that point I had to reevaluate everything. I didn't know if I even wanted to be Miss Delaware anymore, or if I needed to change my philosophy on my preparation for the pageant. And so after a lot of research and actually meeting a couple of different people all throughout the Eastern Shore, basically, I met with a salon that offered Gemtress wigs, and I tried on the Firenze wig in a color 9, which is one of their blonde colors, and basically I put it on my head, and I recognized the person I saw in the mirror, which was the strangest thing for a person who had been bald for over 10 years. I was 20 at this point, to look in the mirror and see this blonde-haired person in the mirror and actually recognize them. I knew I had found my right match, and I still felt like me. So ultimately,
So now, do you have like a huge collection of wigs? Do you always wear this one? I mean, what do you mix it up?
I do. I mix it up a little bit. I think I have found my right color. So I've played around with a few different colors. I do have a brown-haired wig. I have one that's kind of a really beautiful auburn color. My original wig, the first wig that I got, was kind of a strawberry blonde color because I wasn't quite sure I wanted to go completely blonde at that point. But I have a few different ones. I play around with the lengths a little bit, but I think I found my perfect color. So just like a woman finds their perfect match in the salon and they go to that person for that one specific color, I've kind of got my niche with my hair color. But the styles, I get to change it up. I have a wig stand on my wall that my husband made me that all the wigs get to be shown on like trophies, basically, because they're my favorite things in my whole wardrobe, because I can change it up. If I feel like being sassy, I can wear a long one like I've got on today, or last night I had this punk rock kind of blonde 80s rock star kind of haircut on that had the sharp bangs and the angled bob. So I change it up with however I'm feeling that day.
And I love it that you even have a little regrowth in there. You can have fun with it.
I do. It is amazing. My biggest fear when I first went into wearing wigs was that they would look fake, and some of them do. I mean, there are so many wigs out there that look like a wig, but there are so many things that places at salons can do to make it customized for you. So they paint in coloring and roots to give it depth and to make it look like it's literally growing outside of my head.
Yeah, I love it that it's called depth now. When I was growing up, depth was called roots.
Or roots.
No, I love the word depth. That really kind of works for me. Or the little shadow. That's kind of cool.
I try to color it up like it's actually a little bit glamorous there.
So our audience is the professional hair. Oh wait, before we get to that, you have to show this. This is actually your crown.
This is, yes, I know. This is the thing that I wanted all of those years as a little girl on my shelf, and finally it was put on my head.
And did you have to, because you are wearing a wig, did that factor into it at all?
It did. One of the biggest things that I had to realize along the way is that you literally cannot wear the Miss America crown without hair on your head. It's something that I can't change. It's a part of our history. The pageant's been around for over 90 years, and this is the same crown they've been using, and it cannot be put on a bald head because.
Right, so hold it up. Put it on your head so you can just see it. Oh my goodness.
And it matches the hair, doesn't it?
It does match the hair, and I got to tell you, another reason you have to have hair to be in those pageants is because there's a lot of hair sponsors, and if unless they're doing a whole scalp thing, it's you need to have hair. Yeah.
You're exactly right.
Okay, so back to my question: the audience, the modern salon audience, is a bunch of salon professionals, hairdressers, makeup artists, manicurists, etc. What advice would you have for them, for the client who comes in, a beautiful young woman? Who is having hair loss issues?
I think the most important and the first thing is offering them options, because there's nothing more frustrating on my end of the chair than sitting there with only one option, with you telling me that I only have one choice to fix my problem, basically. So to have options, to show us what other wigs you have, what other treatments may work for me, just to know what else is out there, because you're coming in kind of with a loss of hope, and so to be able to regain that is the most important thing.
Anything, do you think there should be an area of privacy? I mean, the women I've met here who are dealing with hair loss issues are kind of cool about it. And they're like, I don't need a private room. But in general, what would be your advice?
Sure. Through Gemtress and OnRite, I've been traveling a lot and going to different salons all throughout the country, hosting these women's hair loss seminars, basically. And some of the best salons that we've seen have these private consultation areas for women or men that they can go into with their consultant and feel comfortable taking off their wig, because for some women, I can't relate because I go around without my wig all of the time, but there are some women who don't even take their wigs off in front of their husbands, let alone in front of themselves or in front of other professionals. And so to have a private room where they can sit and feel at ease, I think is really invaluable.
Okay, well, this is just so wonderful. It's been such a pleasure meeting with you. Congratulations on your wonderful success. Congratulations on being the star of the OnRite conference and the Gemtress spokesperson. This has just been such a great event and great meeting you and all the people here. Everybody's so nice at this group. It's just a really nice.
We like each other. We like each other here, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it shows. Yeah, it's all kind of infectious that we're all just having such a good time. Anyway, thank you again and congratulations. You're beautiful and fabulous, and it's so nice meeting you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, bye.